Welcome back to The Fives, everyone. This is episode 51, so one episode away from our 1-year anniversary of The Fives. This week is Halloween week, so we focused on the Curious Refuge competition for horror films, their third annual competition where they get submissions from the AI video creators to submit their horror films. And of those horror films, we chose the animated entries. And there weren't many of those, but we found some of the animated entries that we liked. So who do we have this week, John?
This week, 5 new videos from Dream Stuff, Francinette Myth, John Oszajca, Varvara, and Zlaya AI.
I'm Kai Turner.
And I'm John Rogers.
First up, we have Zombie Patrol by Andrés, Bronniman, and Barcelona studio Dream Stuff. And this is a fun stop-motion claymation style story about a night watchman who stumbles across zombies that don't really follow traditional zombie rules. I mean, they seem a little bit more smart and cunning than we typically see zombies in film and TV. And then we kind of get a video game run and gun sequence, a fun kind of shoot 'em up. Overall, I thought it was a fun piece with a consistent style, and I really enjoyed it.
I absolutely love this video from the Dream Stuff team. It feels very commercial, feels very professional. These are working filmmakers, so it's no surprise there. They even actually created a really amazing poster for this short film, which that's the first time I've seen an AI filmmaker make a poster for their short. I would encourage others to do the same. But this is really just a great production value all the way around. It kind of feels like stop motion animation, possibly a little bit of claymation. It's just excellent. Production design is excellent. The sound design is excellent. Probably one of the best AI videos I've seen, period, for some time.
Zombie apocalypse, and guess what? I'm stuck.
Our second video this week is Night of the Living Bun from Francinette Myth, a UK-based filmmaker. What I really like about Night of the Living Bun is that it feels like it's a world that we know through either video games or other stories. It's very addressable, very accessible. The production design is really cool. It's fun. It reminds me of the design that you would have seen in the video game Plants vs. Zombies, if you ever played that. It's just a really fun story, and I think the art style is very addressable for lots of different audiences. Francinette Myth has done something really, really special here.
Yeah, I agree, John. I was also thinking that this felt like an opening sequence for a mobile game of some sort, with a cute bunny-themed zombie apocalypse. It's building a world that you could imagine making a fun game around. And it also keeps it very kind of lighthearted. I guess in terms of horror, it's going for more gross-out horror that is appropriate, maybe not appropriate for kids, but is not too scary. It's grossing you out with the bunny themed violence and zombie horror. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I would like to see more from this particular world if they built it out.
Number three.
Today's the day, I can feel it. Someone's gonna pick me.
Next up, we have The Patch from John Oszajca, a New Zealand-based creator. And I have to give it up to John for the sheer originality of this piece. I mean, my birthday is on Halloween, so I'm relatively tuned in on all the different themes and variations on those themes related to Halloween. But I've never seen a horror from the perspective of a pumpkin contemplating becoming a jack-o'-lantern. I think that's a really unique twist, and they made for an entertaining comedy short.
Yeah, what really stood out to me with The Patch and what John has done here is that the sound design and the audio is really, really strong. And I did a little bit of background research on John, and I found out that he's a professional musician. He comes from a music background. He had some stature and ongoing music releases based out of LA. He was actually from LA and now living in New Zealand. And this really shows what I keep saying over and over on this podcast of sound is 50% of the experience. And those filmmakers and storytellers who really focus on sound or who come from audio music backgrounds, you really can see that part of the work stand through. And I think this is a great example of the need to focus on sound and audio design in AI filmmaking, because it's certainly something that's, I think, lacking in a lot of the AI videos right now.
Number four.
Our fourth film this week is The Cursed Circus, coming from a filmmaker named Varvara. We don't know much about Varvara. His or her presence is really kind of limited online. I would love to know more about their background, because what I really liked about this and why we selected it this week is the design aesthetic of it feels like Tim Burton, but it definitely has a wash of sort of Eastern European kind of design aesthetic. So I'd love to know more about Varvara's background, because I think the design here is really what stands out and makes it unique and special. And it's been very well put together, and also another great example where audio has kind of elevated the experience.
Yeah, John, I was definitely getting Tim Burton vibes from this as well. And you're right that the sound design and music production was really top notch. I was sort of thrown off by the plot a little bit, because we're seeing a pretty scary looking kid who turns out to be our central protagonist that we're meant to be scared on behalf of. But aside from that, I think the short does a really good job in terms of setting a creepy mood and having a horror twist at the end.
Number five.
Finally, we have Kolobok by an artist that goes by Zlaya AI on Instagram and appears to be Russia-based. And we don't know much about this artist. They also link to their Spotify, and this short is kind of a music video as much as it is a horror story. But the story itself is a reinterpretation of, I had to look up what Kolobok was. I didn't remember it as a fairy tale that I knew as a child, but it's about a little bun that escapes into the forest and tries to outsmart the various forest creatures. And I think in this one, doesn't seem to do as good a job as it does in the traditional story. So I think it was a very unique take on a fairy tale, and a fun, dark, kind of grim fairy tale redone as a music video, which I really enjoyed.
I really enjoyed Kolobok. I thought this was just really great. The audio really makes it for me. This is the only video I found, at least in the animated space, from the Curious Refuge competition, that was really set up as more of a musical and telling the story through music. And I've said this before in the podcast, but I really think this is a great example of looking at, if a lot of filmmakers are looking for stories to tell and inspiration, looking at wherever you are in the world at local folklore, local stories. It is so rich. There's so many of those, and they're all open, public domain. Feel free to go tell it. Feel free to go and reimagine it like they did here with Kolobok. I think this is just a great source of storytelling. Kolobok here is a great example from Zlaya AI of how that can really come together, and he's got a great piece of work to show for that.
Thanks. That's it for this week. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.
We'll see you next time.